Week 2 is here on Stef Saucy Talk. I am DJ Stef Saucy. Hey, look, it's week 2 now. So thank you for tuning in. Before I even talk about anything, you already know what it is. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As I put out content for you. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. It's your boy Saucy. And shout out to all my characters, man. B Chillin', B Money, Smooth and Sauce, and me, Stef Saucy, the CEO, founder, and creator. So, like I said, this week was pretty interesting. And I really, took heed to Deion Sanders, man. That was my first topic that I talked about. I mean, this is a guy who is just taking the sports world by storm, and he's doing it on his term, his style, with his presence. And a lot of people are hating on him. And I said that in my video, how Deion Sanders is the most talked about sports figure. And he rightfully so deserves it. I mean, he's a former Hall of Famer in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And I can show you the stats. Let's just pull up the stat sheet. Okay? He's a 1994 Defensive Player of the Year. He's played on multiple teams. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. 2-sport athlete. He was before at Colorado. He was at Jackson State. 2-time Southwest Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year. Now, mind you, he's coaching in the HBCU league. And even then, he had people throw shots and shade at him. Okay? 2-time All-Pro. 8-time Pro Bowler. NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. The NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. What does that tell you? The stats speak for himself. Now, someone has to be their own type of person in this life. And Deion Sanders became that once he retired out of the NFL stardom. He was on TV. All right? He did his time coaching up his sons to lead him to this very big moment, which I'm about to get to right now, is the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, this team, before he came there last year, was 1-11. At one point, they just lost 10 straight games. And it was a disgrace of a program. A laughable program at that. So what does he do? He brings his crew, his sons, goes to college football on the biggest stage ever, playing in the FBS conference. All right? Division I schools. Now, that's a big leap from going from HBCU to Division I. And you already know they was criticizing him. You got sports commentators, I said this in my video, saying they're tired of Deion Sanders. And I just said a real respectful and honest opinion. How could you say that? Why? Because he's confident in what he does? He's a black person, right? In America. And I always talk about this since I am currently in America, New York that is, just to be specific. He's a leader. Okay, now there's not too many people that can really lead. He's a natural born leader. He was cocky as shit back in the days. Let's not forget that. That's the reason why they call him Prime. Because when the lights came on, he put on a show on the football field and baseball, which I don't know too much about, but I know for sure football, he did his thing. So you get all of that raising up and mentoring young men, which I appreciate because I'm a young man. So if someone's coming to me willing to give me an offer to go play for him, it doesn't matter where you go. He's going to show up and show out for you because he's a human being. And I said that in my video, like, that's kind of like disrespectful in a sense, because it's one thing you might not like what his personality is, but don't knock the confidence, don't knock the hustle, don't knock his dedication to his work. And that's what I was trying to say. So, but like I always know too, it's a part of life. So people are going to hate on you. And watch this comment I'm about to talk to you about right now. Another black man hating on another black man, right? So Colorado is 3-0 right now. So before this game that they played last week, which they beat an in-state rival, Colorado State, the head coach of Colorado State had some nerve to say this shit. I'm going to show you right now. He said, I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them, I took off my hat and I took off my glasses. When I talk to grown-ups, oh, he's a grown-up, I take my hat and glasses off. That's what my mother taught me. So really, we're gonna talk about moms now. So obviously, your mother must have raised you wrong because you talking about another man and what he does. Don't why you worrying about him so much? So in response, Deion brings his own mother to the pregame speech, and she said for the players to kick their ass. Now, not in a disrespectful way, but how could you say that about another colleague in your industry? You both are black people trying to make it in this world, and you're gonna throw shade at him like that? It's disrespectful, man. And you know what? It's a very humbling experience too that you still have the haters out there after all you have accomplished in life. That's what you gotta hear. So that's one. The next story I had was the VMAs. Every year they do the VMAs. But it's not a surprise to me this year with the whole Hip Hop 50 thing going on. How they're using this for propaganda. And for payola. Let's just be honest. Everybody's getting a bag. For a genre of music that was once hated upon back in the days. Isn't that interesting? Now, a lot of people can say a lot what they want about hip hop, but hip hop has transformed the world, cultivated and inspired people to come up. Look at a guy like Drake. Now, I'm not trying to say that Drake is what hip hop is, but it's giving him a platform. It's giving him to break numbers, right? Spotify's most all-time streamed artists. Billboard 1, 2, and 3 simultaneously. No one has ever done that in Billboard history. Now the numbers are there. A decade of dominance. From 2010 up to this date, Drake has had number 1 hit albums. And he's planning on dropping this new album for all the dogs this week. Now, there's the argument that could he be the best rapper of all time? Me personally, I can't say that is. I feel like a lot of people can outshine him and have better skills than him. But, when I think about the VMAs, Video Music Awards, right? That's the whole thing about it. It's real interesting how nowadays they make the women on these award shows look like anything, do or say anything. Like, that's just the popularization now that we have in our society. The women in media, in music, are really taking over now. And I'm seeing that a lot in hip-hop. Like, these women are really one of the best in the game right now. And it's really starting to look sad for the fellas out there that say they rap and do this and that. But one thing they got over all of us men is that sex appeal. And that's what you see in hip-hop. Sex, violence, drugs, money, all that stuff. That's what comes with the game. That's what comes with the industry. We get that. So now with this hip hop 50 celebration going on, you starting to see a lot of people come out of the woodwork saying, "Oh yeah, hip hop, yeah, it celebrates." But where were you the years before that? And I've seen that a lot this year. How people who said they love hip hop didn't even acknowledge it. And I think one point in my video it got cut off because I'm like, we're glorifying these acts on stage, but there's so many artists that came before this that died. All right, the names: Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Nipsey Hussle, all those prolific artists that I just mentioned to you died. Some should say they should still be here to this day. But what the game has given them is bigger than life itself. Now, when you consume all of this of what I'm saying to you, the point I was trying to make in that video, which got cut off, is hip-hop, man, is always going to be known for that. It's always going to be that stigmatization of it's violent, it's derogatory, it's this, it's that. But people are still eating off of this. Corporate companies are eating off of hip-hop. So they can say whatever they want about hip-hop, but they still cut those checks, right? This is another interesting week of Stef Saucy Talk. Let me know what you think. I thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm grateful to be in the position I am right now as I'm getting better. I'm out of time. But like I always say, Stef Saucy Talk. Tune in for another episode as we will